California.
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 I feel right at home every time I come to California.
All right, welcome back. Well, most of the Democratic field, they spent the weekend in, as you just heard there, California. And California could play a big role in the Democratic primaries next year, but also potentially a confusing role. Let me take you through what I mean. So we always talk about the first 4 states on the Democratic side, taking an early look here at the calendar next year, and you know the routine. February 3rd, the Iowa caucuses, then you're going to jump 8 days later to New Hampshire, the second contest, then you head out west to Nevada the 22nd of February, and at the end of the month, you finish it up with the last of the 4, the South Carolina primary. And traditionally, of course, these are the contests that winnow the Democratic field. They separate the contenders from the pretenders, and then the rest of the states decide. Maybe there's 2, 3, 4 candidates left. The rest of the states figure it out from there. So as usual, these 4 are going to lead things off. That all looks normal, but take a look at what comes next. Super Tuesday, a week after, less than a week after that South Carolina primary. Look at all of these states going, and the biggest one of them, of course, the biggest state in the country, California. About a third of the delegates that are going to be up for grabs on that day, Super Tuesday, just days after the South Carolina primary, are going to be in California. So California, it's the biggest state, it's the biggest delegate haul. It comes up real fast, real quick in the process. But here's the other thing about it. California, of course, they've got all of that early voting, that mail-in voting in California. So here's one analysis about how this will affect next year's primaries. Look at this. 5% of California primary votes, an estimated 5%, will be cast before the New Hampshire primary. 25%. 1 out of 4. Before Nevada, 45%. Nearly half of all the votes cast in the California primary before the South Carolina primary. Think about that. You're going to have all of those candidates out there who are still, as the winnowing is taking place in those early states, they may drop out after New Hampshire, after Nevada, after South Carolina, leaving a much smaller field when the official California primary date comes around. And yet, any vote cast for them in that period will count. You won't be able to take it back. It's the possibility almost of like a zombie candidate out there collecting votes. We saw this in a few places in the Republican side in 2016. It could certainly complicate things on the Democratic side. One other thing to keep in mind here, there is a poll in California. It's a little dated. This is 2 months ago. It's the most recent. It's before Biden got in. But I think one thing that jumps out here, Kamala Harris, this is her state, California. She's competitive, but she is not dominant. She's in 3rd place in this early poll. It says to every other candidate up here, Kamala Harris is not going to walk away with this state. If you think you got a shot at the nomination, it's worth having. You probably need to have a California strategy.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Beat the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.